Hello. Hello, Tharsis. Yes, dwarf hands. Dwarf hands. Oh, goodness. It's been a long time since I've done a mini painting stream, and that is because my camera, sucks. But I have a new one. This fancy camera right here. It has great autofocus. Um, Let me pick up a mini right here. So you'll be able to focus on my hands. And hello, Perrywin. Hello. And then I can bring the miniature up close and you guys can see the mini. So yay! Oh, these are so I'm actually finishing up a commission that I've been working on today, or the past few days actually. That is right here. So ooh, I'm gonna have to get used to using cameras. This is the mini I've been working on. Look at him. There we go. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I have to finish up the base today, and then I'm going to send a photo of him to the customer and ask if he's good, and if he is, then he gets shipped off. And then probably the next time I stream, I will be working on an entirely new mini, not finishing one up. So the next mini that I have to work on is a Falco mini for a customer. So many colors prepared. Oh, yeah. So this is my wet palette. I guess a desk tour is in order. This is my lovely washcloth that I use to wipe my paintbrushes. This is where I sometimes mix colors for dry brushing. And then this is my wet palette. So as you can tell, a lot of these paints in here kind of look kind of funky. That's because they've been sitting on this wet palette for almost a week now. I'm most likely not going to use any of those today. I'm just going to take some new paints and put them directly on the wet palette so they stay wet for longer. It's basically just a way to extend the longevity of your paints so they don't dry out too quickly, because I am working with acrylics, not oil paints. So I also have my glass for paint. Ignore how dirty it looks. It's clean water, I promise. It's just, you know, when you have a dedicated painting mug, it it starts to look a certain way. I don't know how else to put it other than that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be painting today and just hanging out. I do have a question for you guys. Can you hear music? There should be music playing. And Streamlabs tells me that music is playing, but can you hear it? Man. All right. Oh, hello, Tona. Yes, new camera hype. New camera hype. I'm so happy. So happy this thing came in. Um, Hold on. I've only colored 3 minis in my life so far, but definitely would like to get more into it sometime. Do it. Do it. We can paint minis together. We could paint the same mini at the same time in a collab stream. How fun would that be? So, this mini looks familiar, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. This is the first mini I painted for this customer. And I was like coming along very well. Hello, Cloud. Hi. And then I realized it was the wrong version of the model that I was painting, which is a shame because they look so damn fucking similar. Difference is there's a satchel and a book right behind his hand that isn't on the model that I originally painted. So I had to completely stop painting this model and work on the other one, which is upsetting. How are you, Cloud? And then this is a mini I finished up yesterday. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. Isn't she pretty? She has a grimoire book that has stars and a moon in it, and her little hat. Oh, gosh. Her hat has a moon and some stars on it. Yeah. I'm doing fine. I was looking forward to your stream. Well, good. Um, she's done. She gets to ship out today. I just need to pack her up, but I'm not gonna do that on stream. I'm gonna paint instead. Cloud, can you hear music? I can hear music, yes. Is it too loud? Too soft? Just right? Let me know. Man, so I have so many paints up here. I need to sort through them real quick. Because there's a specific colors that I'm looking at for basing. I think those are it. Wow, I found those pretty fast. Lucky me. I'm also going to need silver and a little bit of gold. I'm using the same mic I always use. Why? What's up? Is it being weird? Too loud? It is in a different spot. Instead of being right in front of me, it is literally right here, off to the side. So these are the colors that I'm going to be using. It just sounds different. Yeah, it's probably just because it's located in a different spot. So these are the colors that I'll be using. Sorry, there's a glare. That's my ring light. For the base, as well as we're going to be mixing these for the base as well. All right, so let's get to it. It's going to be pretty chill. I'm going to, you know, just be painting. Talk to me as you see fit. Otherwise, hang out, enjoy the music. Here's my really janky paintbrush holder. All right. I lied. I'm going to bring one more color down here. So unfortunately, you guys are going to have to deal with like a top-down view until I go to show the mini. It's the only way I can set up my camera at the moment. We will be causing distractions. That's fine. Distract me all you want. We're just here to hang out and have a good time. I need a bigger brush for this, because this small one is going to take forever. 12 minutes and I just got the notification now? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you have the Twitch app on your phone, you could hit the notification bell and you'll be notified directly to your phone instead of relying on Discord. Sorry, that was sassy, wasn't it? A bit. I do it out of love. I don't mean it seriously. Show up whenever you can. I do not need you to show up right at the beginning. It is okay. I thought first we were just making some tests. Well, this is a test. It's seeing um how well I can stream while mini painting. Which is why I'm not doing a full miniature and why I'm just finishing up the base of this one. So it's not going to be a terribly long stream today, I don't think. Unless we really get distracted by something for some reason. Mm, look at that, slowly adding bricks. Ozzy Osbourne. This? No, this is Panic at the Disco. Unless you're asking for Ozzy Osbourne. Do you want some Ozzy? He's dead, I mean. Oh, is he? Did he die? Didn't he just have a concert recently? His farewell concert or something? Today. Ah, I see. I have it running on my test server and it yells at me each. Wait, hold on. I do know how to set up a bot for Discord called StreamCord. I have it running on my test server and it yells at me each time when you go live without failure. I love that. We'll have to set it up on my Discord. You'll have to walk me through that process. Did he. So, give me the details on Ozzy's death. Was it just like. Was his farewell concert literally he was terminal for something and he knew he was gonna die? Is that what happened? I teach Maeve how to replace Cloud. Nonsense. You'll still be useful. Your only job here is not. Wait, hold on. You don't have one job here. You wear multiple hats. There we go. So this is uniform gray, but I'm gonna use it as stone. The music is rad. Thank you, thank you. You know, someone paid in my lab paid me a very high compliment. They said, if I ever have a get together and I need someone to pick music, I'm gonna let you be in charge. Because I play music in the lab all the time. And without fail, they always seem to love it, so I'd like to think I have pretty neutral music tastes. Sometimes there's the odd song. um Rumor is along those lines. Apparently, his last song was Mama, I'm Coming Home, and then he got into a bike accident, maybe, but speculation is he did it on purpose. Oh. I mean, he is old and has had multiple strokes. If I was in his position, how much of that would I really be wanting to put up with? You know what I mean? Do I blame the guy if it was on purpose? No. I just hope he's in a better place. Rest in peace to a rock icon. I added a gray brick. I'll have to set something up so you guys can see the reference images I'm using. Because a lot of times when I'm painting a mini, it's for a customer. and they usually send reference images along. So I think if I put up a reference image, you guys will be able to see how well I'm doing and everything like that. This? Yes. Yeah. Because if not, I would have to be working around my own hands, which can be difficult sometimes depending on the angle that I'm trying to paint at. And it holds it pretty snugly, so I can paint upside down, which is useful for painting eyes if necessary, and everything like that. Now on to not so real stuff. You hear about the downfall of V Shoujo. Ah, yes, I heard Iron Mouse left because they aren't paying her money owed to her for a charity. For her subathons that she has done over the past year. Which, good luck to V Shoujo if Iron Mouse left. I just hold the base like a fucking goblin and complain about shit being hard. I've seen people use, so this, I mean, do I recommend you pay like $12 for this plastic thing? No, I don't. You can get by with using, I'm going to use this thing as an example. It's a UV flashlight, but pretend it's like a wooden dowel rod that you could get at Home Depot for 30 cents. I see people use this, and much in the same way that right now I have a cheap plastic base on the bottom of this mini. Hold on. I'm done with this mini, so I can take it off. So there's a cheap base on the bottom of the mini with some blue tack. I've seen people just take blue tack, put it on top of their wooden dowel rod, and put the mini on top of that. So you don't need to buy fancy equipment. My little mini holder just happened to have come with a paintbrush kit that I bought when I first started painting. A paintbrush kit that I no longer use. Oh no, her head fell off. I need to glue her head back on. That I no longer use because those brushes really sucked, if we're being completely honest. Hello, Harmony. I'm doing a hand stream like you are. Well, like you do when you make your bracelets. How are you today, my dear? It's not broken. It didn't break it. Her head came separate from her body to begin with. I just need to glue it back on. Because super glue and resin sometimes don't bond correctly, which is really lame. So what I will do is I will use UV resin, do a little dab of UV resin, and then use my UV flashlight. Because that will hold better. I'm doing all right. It's good to see a hand cam stream. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into painting minis for a while now. But yeah, blue tack is your friend when mini painting, because you could put it on anything you want and it'll stick a mini to it. Like, I have chapstick right here. You want a mini to stick to your chapstick? Bam, instant handle. So, hello, Will. I recently got my hands on a Hive Tyrant. The bastard is too heavy. Painting it makes me want to commit war crimes on a minority space race. Oh no, not the minority space races. Look at those tiny grabbers. My tiny grabbers, which you guys have no frame of reference. How, because everything here is currently tiny. Like, the paint bottles are tiny, this chapstick is pretty tiny. I don't know how to show you guys how small my hands are. uh, oh, actually, I do have, hold on, I do have a thing to show you my hand size. You guys get to see the remote controller that I use. Hi, here's my Xbox controller. Here's my hands. My little tiny hands. The big old controller. All you need is a quarter, but I don't have a quarter down here. You don't understand. Banana for scale. I don't have bananas in the house. Otherwise, I would have. Um, is small. Yeah, my hand's small. The controller seems huge. Yeah. A hydrate, I will. Yes, I know. Now imagine the original Xbox controllers in my hands. I still have it. I have my original Xbox and I have the controller that I use. It was a special controller that was like a mini, like it was called a mini Xbox controller. And that's the only one I could use because the original Xbox controllers were too big for my hands when I was 6 years old. I hydrated. Thank you so much, Harmony. Okay, back to paintings. Yapping about hand size and everything. All right, what other colors? Let's use this fur brown color. Video proof that she hydrates. I hydrate every time unless I expressly say, hey, I just finished my water bottle. Because sometimes you guys make me hydrate so much that I finish the entire thing. I don't like that color. It is not the right color of brown. I'm gonna add a little bit of dragon red to it. Well, go sleep. Okay, this is my special silicone paintbrush that has no bristles, but a silicone wow, my hands are so bright. It's a silicone pad that I use to mix my paints so that I don't end up packing too much paint into my brushes because that is something I used to do in the past. It's why they're not white anymore. That looks really red on camera, but I promise it's like a brownish red color. It looks like bright red, but it's not. So I will add, I do want it darker. I don't want it that light, so I'm going to add some oak brown. Sleep is for the weak confirmed. Man has learned the weakness of flesh and embraced the purity of caffeine. I can refer you back to a previous comment about the 1.1 grams of caffeine. So, was that a recent consumption of caffeine, is what you're saying? Your body hasn't processed that shit yet? Could you also paint with a silicone? Oh, could I paint with this? Yeah, I could. Though it wouldn't look great. um, it would look better if I were using oil paints, because you can use it to determine pressure and everything like that. But with acrylic paints, it would kind of, all the acrylic would push out to the sides and create a void in the middle. So it'd look very streaky. And I don't want it to look streaky. But I've just got home after a very busy dinner shift. I see. Well, eat some food if you haven't already. Um, take care of your needs, you know. I saw a meme about the first human on Earth who fell asleep. Oh no, I think I'm dying. Oh, what happened? I'm not dead. Yeah. Though, to be honest, I don't know if humans ever experienced anything like that. Because I think for as long as we've, like, gained consciousness, we've kind of known what sleep was. Sh- Painting bricks, man. Painting bricks. At some point, you guys are gonna see my depending on how I have to lean in order to see underneath certain areas of the menu, you might see the magnification goggles that I wear. They're pretty funny. Maybe I'll post a picture in the Discord of what I look like in the goggles. 10 grams is the least lethal dose 50 of caffeine. Ah, no, not feet. You can already see the glasses, can you? There we go. Hey. My chin and glasses confirmed. I feel like if you look at me straight on, I look like the guy who paints Woody and fixes Woody in Toy Story 1. You know what I'm talking about? Maeve has a chin. Maeve does have a chin. Yes. Chin confirmed. Maeve chin reveal. Look at that chin. That very sharp chin. It looked very sharp from that angle. Crimson chin, but Irish white. Oh, yeah. Ain't that the fucking truth of it? I'm not even gonna fucking deny. I am pale as fuck. If I didn't have the white here, um, the way the white balance on this camera would completely make me look like this. Oh, man. You guys would be like, I'm blinded. Okay, I think. Oh, no, I missed a brick right there. Actually missed a couple of bricks around the edge too. Okay. Not the brick. I missed brick too. Yeah. Brick is fun. He's fun to have on stream. Mm. Cloud is so pale it makes people say you need a vacation to get some color in your skin. Dude, I go on vacation and I burn so bad. It's why Shroom and I are eloping to Iceland and not somewhere like Cancun, because I will burn. I will perish in the sun. Pale gang. Pigpen is British, so you can gather. I am also pale. Yeah. Yeah. Be struggling out here in the sunlight. But in order to get my daily dose of vitamin D, I only need to be outside like mid-morning for like 15 minutes. Yay me, I guess. Okay. Um I also go on vacations, but I never burn because my basement is chilly. You mean staycations? As this chat's resident British, I resent that. You know, I don't think you're the only British one here. Pretty sure there's other British people who show up in chat. Some odd reason, Europeans really like my content. You found a TikTok of what you look like. I posted it in the Discord. Oh, I'm terrified to know what you've pulled up. I'm the unlucky guy that got stuck in the hot part of Canada. I don't like it. I don't like it. Tend to stay tan. What do you mean the hot part of Canada? Where the fuck is the hot part of Canada? You're up north. That makes no sense. But I'm the resident, as I'm a permanent fixture of chat. Please watch it. It's funny. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get all the way around this base so that it has time to dry before I get to the next step. Enjoy the soothing tones of Michael Bublé. And enjoy the song. I think it's a good song. Case may have found the person that has the same goggles. Oh boy. Okay, good news. I've gone all the way around the edge of base. Mhm. Mhm. Opening Discord just for you. Okay, I could tell already. Uh-huh. Oh, she has glasses and the goggles on. But yes, those are the brand of goggles that I have. I look better in them though. Not to brag. All right. Southern Ontario. I live in a place called Chemical Valley. Everywhere for about 150 kilometers in every direction is all petrochemical manufacturing plants. Oh, that sounds like a smoggy mess. I would actually really enjoy working at a chemical manufacturing plant, but they are kind of an eyesore. Yeah. This guy still has a head. You should break it off. I didn't break off the other one. Her head and her hands literally needed to be glued on. I just need to re-glue them. We produce so much heat into the atmosphere that we can repel major storms as we get a lot of tornadoes trying to form, but get dissipated the closer they get to land due to temperature changes. Ah, well. I hope they give you good health care, my dude. Well, you're in Canada, so it's already better than the US. Moving on. Um, hmm. So, I don't know how well you can tell. There is a design around the edge of base. See it? It's like a braided sort of texture. I have to paint that, and each strand of the braid is a different color of silver. And I don't know how well it's gonna turn out. So I'm gonna use shining silver, and then greedy golds. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Maeve, gold isn't silver. You're right. I'm gonna take more shining silver and mix it with just a dab of the gold to create a slightly darker, or not darker, a slightly whatever, color theory. It's gonna be a different color silver. Do they send you a 3D file of the mini they want, or do you buy the minis unpainted? Good question. I 3D print all miniatures. So, um, for in the instance of this mini, this miniature is from Hero Forge, and the customer sent the file directly to me with pictures saying what they wanted. Um, but I also am a merchant for a sculptor who goes by the name Artisan Guild. So I have all of the Artisan Guild miniatures, and I could print and paint any one of those as I please. It's just I have so little time that I really only do commissions right now. But when I leave my job come January, I will have more free time to do painting on my own for pleasure. I just got back from a job at a place called Thermo Fisher replacing the heat coat baths blower motors. They make pills for all of Ontario, kind of neat. Uh, I used to work for a company called PPD, or Pharmaceutical Product Development Inc. PPD got bought out by Thermo Fisher, and boy was it a fucking shit show. I know that's not quite the same as Thermo Fisher's manufacturing section, but Thermo Fisher on the contract research organization side are a very interesting entity, and I hated it, and I left because I got written up over a pin and passed over for promotion because of it. So I was like, fuck you, I'm out. and I had to do an exit interview and sign an NDA not to talk about it for a year or tell anyone about the new job that I was working at who currently worked with PPD as a company, because they didn't want me to poach them. If that tells you anything. It's been well over a year. I'm no longer under NDA, so don't fucking at me. Um, I have a resin 3D printer. It stinks. Well, what type of resin are you using for one? And also, get a little like hood with a filter in it. That's what I use. It works great. A goddamn pen? Yes, a goddamn pen. So, oh, story time. Technically, technically, the SOP for documentation, for recording documentation that PPD and Thermo Fisher put in place said that for any documentation that requires written information to be recorded, you needed to use indelible ink. For those of you who don't know, indelible means that it cannot be erased or like modified once it's been inked in or penned in, I guess I should say. Well, I couldn't find any ballpoint pens in the lab that I was in. You know what there was? Ethanol proof markers. Fine point ethanol proof markers. So I used that. So I was like, they're ethanol proof, they're waterproof, they're pretty much everything proof except for acetone, but we don't even have acetone in the lab. So I used that. Then I get called into the office and they were like, Maeve, did you write this here on this date? And they showed me the log that I had recorded my initials on. I was like, yeah. And they're like, why did you use a marker and not a ballpoint pen? And I was like, well, the protocol says I just have to use indelible ink, and that's an ethanol proof marker. You can't, it's indelible. Like, you can't change it. And they were like, but you need to use a ballpoint pen. And I was like, the protocol doesn't say that. It says indelible ink, not a black ballpoint pen. It doesn't even specify black ink. And I argued, and I argued, and I argued, and they ripped me up anyway. And they never changed the protocol, which means someone else is going to do the same thing I did. Because they didn't specify. They keep saying, oh, it should have been a black ballpoint pen. It should have been a black ballpoint pen. And yet that's not what the protocol said. It said indelible ink. Which, by the way, black ballpoint pens, the ink, when in contact with ethanol, fucking runs. So that's not even indelible. Oh, I was livid. I left about 2 months later. Oh, I get it. Thermo Fisher sucks nuts. We have to log and record any tools we bring, and then we have to subject ourselves to spontaneous search and seizure of any and all suspected site tools. I had a personal multi-tool, 8-inch digital vernier, and it got confiscated because my etched initials looked like TF. Ah! Shit cost me like $600. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Thermo is a fucking monster of a conglomerate. I agree. I agree. And I made a formal complaint. I was like, if you want it to be a black ballpoint pen that you're writing in, you need to amend the protocol to specifically say a black ballpoint pen instead of indelible ink. Because there's many forms of indelible ink. It was dumb. They never amended it. I'm convinced they just use it as a way to weed people out so they don't have to give them promotions, because that's exactly what they did. Never mind that the people that I got passed up for had contaminations and issues with their other more meaningful protocols that actually impacted downstream effects. And I had nearly 400 procedures and not one contamination. Fuckers. I'm mad. Can you tell? Can you fucking tell? Oh my god. Me ranting about a job that didn't even pay me well. It comes across quite clear that I'm mad. Good. Thermo Fisher fucking sucks, and I hate that they have a monopoly on research chemicals. Well, I guess it's not a monopoly. Sigma Aldrich has research chemicals as well, but honestly, I think they're under the same parent company. Companies are rough. So instead, I went to academic research, and while I love my job, my boss specifically sucks butt. The fucking Canadian asshole that he is. He's a little two-faced, I'm not gonna lie. Joke's on me, he's watching my stream right now, and he just heard me call him two-faced and I get fired tomorrow. Oh well, I planned on quitting anyway. I'm a machinist millwright working as a valve technician certified in sections 1, 4, 8 valves. Company I'm with sends me my fatness all over. Surprised no one's commented on the fact that I'm left-handed. In lab, that's like the first thing people fucking want to tell me about. Oh my god, you're left-handed, but you do all your protocols right-handed. Yeah. That's because it's too much work to change all the workspaces to be left-handed friendly. I'm grumpy today. What the fuck? What is going on? I fucked up a side project I was doing the other day because I didn't have a $20 piece of equipment. Oh no. I have a lot of my personal tools I've purchased over the years, so that Thermo Fisher gig left me salty. Oh yeah. Yep. You're still stunlocked about the chin. The left hand thing is not so much of a big deal. Oh man. My sinister hand, yes. Left-handed blasphemy. Yeah. I know companies that would not hire left-handed people. I find it silly as long as they do the job. The hell do I care? Well, depending on the company, if their equipment is made specifically for right-handed people, left-handed people are a liability because they're more likely to get injured. The life expectancy is lower than that of right-handed people because of that. Did you know? And when I was a kid, I learned to use scissors in my right hand because all the scissors that I had in like kindergarten and preschool and everything like that growing up were all ergonomically made for right-handed people, and they were very uncomfortable to use left-handed, so I just learned how to cut things with my right hand. It's interesting learning to navigate the world when it's not made for you. Gotta be ambidextrous to live in this world? Yeah. Okay, I did the base. I did the little ooh, detail around the edge. Go. Very pretty. So I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit it with a wash, and it'll really make it come together. Washes, if you don't know what they are amazing. They settle in the recesses of minis and give it more depth, without you having to hand paint it yourself. I know that there's some miniature purists out there who are like, oh, well, if you can't shade all the shadows on your own, then you're not a true miniature painter. Oh, yeah, but who got time for that, man? Like, I'm not getting paid $23 an hour for this mini. I can't be wasting time with that nonsense. Have you ever hidden an Easter egg in one of your minis? What do you mean? What type of Easter egg? Using right-handed scissors with my left in school gave me blisters. Oh, you're left-handed too? Yeah. Yeah, it fucking sucks to use right-handed scissors when you're left-handed. So you either learn to use your right hand or, like Tharsis said, you end up getting pain. Nuln, yeah. I don't use Nuln in particular because I use Army Painter, but it's the same thing. It's just it's just an oil paint. And here's my reservoir for oil paints that now that they're dry I can oh. Oil? I think I heard an eagle screech just now. Alas, no. A little writing on a spot that no one would look, a tiny D on the neck from a figure you off the head of. I didn't break it. It just fell off. 'Cause it's such a tiny thing. I'll UV it on stream and show you what that looks like because I think it's a pretty cool thing. I don't UV all parts together. It's really if I could get away with using glue, I will. Because sometimes the UV will add volume to a miniature that I don't want. But because so much of the hair is like hiding where it connects, I think I could get away with using the UV. Um, no, I haven't really had hit any Easter eggs in minis. I never really thought about it because usually people ask for specific like references and which while I'm waiting for that to dry, I might be able to throw up a reference photo. Give me a moment. Uh, all right. Sorry if that paused stream. I was snipping. All right. New source. There's the reference image. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. I think I did pretty well. All right. Speaking of oil colors, I just got my potassium ferrocyanide. Oh, that sounds not pleasant. I'm going to make Persian blue out of it. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'm always looking for paints. I'll take paints. Question, if a vampire can't come inside without permission, does that mean you could keep bouncing on it without them being able to come? So you could just edge a vampire forever? I don't know. Would they even come? They're undead. Is that a thing they can do? Ew, imagine how nasty their fucking sperm would be if they're undead. Okay. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that anymore. I bought myself a new tablet that I wanted, so there was sadly not really much for my little mini I wanted you to paint. It's okay. It's okay. I'll still be around. Just finished putting together my Trent Crusade minis last night. Oh, McMorgan, hello! While my PC was in the shop, need to get primer tomorrow. Ooh, what primer do you use? I used to be like, oh yeah, let me get the cheap primer from Walmart, the like Rust-Oleum and stuff. And I was like, man, it's really not that great for minis. And I finally picked up miniature primer. Game changer. Game fucking changer. I should have listened when Reddit was like, yeah, you should use miniature primer. I learned. I thought the guy's holding a banana in his hands for a second. I think it looks great. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's lightning? Question mark? Electricity? It's something. But yeah, let me get real quick. There we go. All right. Do I believe this is dry? It looks dry. Right. So, before oil on the base. There's been oil on the other part, but you'll get to see in a moment what putting oil, how drastically it changes. Just a couple drops. Don't need a lot. So I'm going to do half of it and then give you guys a close up to show you how much of a difference using an oil makes. Because I love it. Instant fucking difference. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. And then there's the edging. Oh, chef's kiss. That makes it pop for sure. Exactly, it does. And I don't have to paint it by hand. Anything to not have to, like, to save time. There's a trend right now with mini paintings, which honestly I wish I had speed paints, but I don't. Buying a pack of paints is very expensive. But speed paints are like the biggest game changer in mini paintings right now. Um, especially for people who are just hobbyists. Because they work much like this, where you have a color settling into the crevices of your mini. Um, but unlike this, where it's black and it settles pretty easily out of the way, a speed paint is a little more robust, and you can use it to like, instead of me painting the shading on this cape, for instance, which is what I did with the exception of the really dark bits, which is an oil, but that dark blue in the crevice, I painted by hand, and the light blue I did to show, like, where it was high and where it was low. A speed paint would do that for me. I wouldn't have to do that by hand. Speed paints, oh, man. If you wanna get into painting minis, but you're really concerned about, like, your skill level, speed paints are a great place to start. Highly recommend. I know there's a lot of purists out there, though, who are like, "It's not mini painting if you use speed paints." Do whatever makes you happy, honestly. It really looks great. Thank you, Cloud. Thank you, Cloud. Um, wait, hold on. Those who have oiled up snakes know that you don't need much. It spreads like crazy. What the fuck does that mean? Oiled up snakes. What? Sorry, ads ended. Usually go with Citadel from my Warhammer days. Paranoid of horrid painting skills dealing with 28mm models. Yeah, I really like the 32mm scale that they use for a lot of tabletop games these days. I know Warhammer is still very much into the 28mm scale, but I never got into Warhammer for playing because by the time I got into tabletop gaming, it was very large of a lore system and gaming system and everything like that. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to learn all this. This is a lot. Um, so I didn't. God damn it. Shouldn't have done that. Just leave it on there, Maeve. There we go. Okay, don't touch it. Oil paints take longer to dry. Um, so I'm just gonna let him rock for a little bit. Next coffee goal incoming. No, I think my next coffee goal is either gonna be a CPU or GPU. Um, uh, I as much as I would love new paints, I really don't need them. Whereas I do think I need to start upgrading my PC. This is paintbrush soap. I like to get it nice and soapy. And then there's some texture on the inside of this lid. I like to just run the brush over that. I know several people who would be clutching their pearls at me doing this, but it's not their paintbrushes. Same mindset as those people who say PNG tubers are not VTubers. Exactly. Like, just let people be happy. Let people do what they want to do. Like, if you use exclusively speed paints, you are not going to be able to compete against someone who is a professional. So I don't understand why the professionals are so up in arms about speed paints. No one is going to be showing up with a speed paint only miniature to like the Golden Demon or any of the other uh what are they called? Miniature painting competitions. No one you need to have more than just speed paints in order to be able to compete in those. So I don't understand why they're treating it like I don't know, someone is competing with athletes but they're on steroids. It's weird. It's weird as heck. What is their rationale for why it isn't actually mini painting? Because they think you should be doing lowlights, your midtones, and highlights all by hand. That there's no skill in using speed paints because you just put it on and it settles into cracks and high points the way you would do it by hand. So they think that it's not actual mini painting. It's really dumb. I disagree with it. Do what makes you happy. Don't listen to them. They're just curmudgeonly misers. I left 40K because of the chuds crying about woke and went to Trench Crusade. I don't know what any of that means, Morgan. You're gonna have to explain that a little more. You still need to tell me your specs. Okay, hold on. Any opinions on the lizard dick from the Discord? I do agree that they kind of look like roly-polies that have lived in a cave their entire life. Um, I'm just gonna leave it at that, I suppose. All right, specs, PC specs. It sounds like why use an excavator when a shovel is more precise argument. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much like that. Um, all right, what do you want to know about my computer, Will? Like, expanding on woke chuds. What is a chud? I've never heard that term before. People want female space marines, and the gatekeepers boycotted, and now there's none. And Trench Crusade is newer, but lore so far is fantastic. Oh, okay. Well, isn't there that one like female cleric looking character that people cosplayed as for a little bit? Women cosplayed as for a little bit when Space Marines was coming out. Stoneless B, thank you so much for joining the Forge. Welcome in. How are you? A chud is a small. Oh, you mean a chode? I didn't realize that. Yeah, I thought chode was the term for that. Wow, this realm of conversation has been interesting for sure. Is it truly mini painting if you don't forge your own brush first? I mean, come on. You call yourself a professional and haven't even crafted your own tools from the feathers of a phoenix. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Yeah, for sure. Blame the Canadian for not knowing his insults. CPU, GPU, RAM, capacity, and speed. Okay, okay. Give me a moment. I have 64 gigs of RAM. Give me a moment. Trying to figure out where everything else is. We both know Maeve missed the. Wait, hold on. What? Huh? Oh, I did miss the first message. Ursian. Yes, I am a small ass dwarf. What do you want? A jerk who thinks too high. Whoa, hold on. A jerk who thinks too highly of themselves and makes it everyone else's problem. Yeah. Chud is a derogatory slang term often used to describe individuals perceived as having reactionary socio-political views, particularly those who are seen as being against progress or change within the hobby. The original term is from a horror movie and stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground. Well, oh my god, I love it. Okay. All right. Noted. We'll be adding that to my list of things in the future. Hello, Lily. Oh, hold on. Come here. Come no, come here. Come here. Come here, sweet girl. Oh, look. Here she is. Hello. Look at that sweet bean. Hello, baby. Give my dog a treat. You hear that? Cloud wants to give you a treat. Yeah. Can you sit? Can you speak? Good girl. She really had to hype herself up. All right, be nice. Dang. Good girl. Ah, alrighty, alrighty. I'm in my scrubs. Don't judge me. I didn't change after work. All right. Oh, yes. Hold on. I keep getting distracted. Um, I was in system settings looking everything. Hold on. Let me answer your question before I address anything else. Performance. Okay, okay, hold on. Where is your message? What did you need? We need CPU. My CPU is a AMD Ryzen 5 3600X 6 core. Actually, well, never mind. I can't screenshot all of them at once. Never mind. I have to go blah, 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 blah. Wait, hold on. Okay. I've generally heard Chud used to refer to older dudes at my league's local gaming store that kind of stare at you if you have dyed hair. Wow. I mean, that's accurate. The few gaming stores I've been in, there's always been a guy or two that have been like really weird about me being in this space. So I try to avoid gaming stores if possible. I do have a gaming store that's run by a female friend of mine though, and it is a wonderful place to be in. I love it so much. Such a good definition. What does the Urban Dictionary answer? Little bee in dog cam, puppy. Yes, 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 pupper. No ironic foot cam. I'm in socks right now. My grippers are in socks. You won't get a good look at anything. But also, I don't do free for free, so you're gonna have to live without them. You sitting like a monk on your chair gets me. What do you want? What do you want from me? I told you I sit cross-legged for streams. Um, if you have a normal chair for her is a sofa, so no wonder. Yeah, I know it's old. I built this computer pre-pandemic. Don't at me. Friend of mine had that experience at a game store, so I understood her struggle. On shrimp, I'm not shrimped actually. Um, shall we barter? No, we're not bartering over feet pics. All right, 64 gigs of memory. I already told you that though. You need GPU. GPU is an NVIDIA GeForce. Oh God, I just cracked my back. Did you guys hear that? It's an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Super. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I think my next thing is gonna be, yeah, a GPU. And instead of paying for paints, is I need a new GPU. You can pair a 4060 or a 7600. I don't know what pairing means. I don't, do you mean like run two in the same case? I don't think I could do that with mine. God, you guys are throwing PC terms at me. I'm not the PC person, Shroom is. You can upgrade to an RTX 4060 or an RTX 7600. Yes, I gathered that. What does pair mean though? You can pair? My oil paints are almost dry, which is nice. They mean you can make sure the parts are compatible before slapping my rigs together. Oh, got it. Don't bother with it now. I didn't plan on it. Oh, okay. I see now. Thank you for explaining. I guess while I'm waiting, I'm gonna put this girl's head back on. Be right back. Hold on. Gosh, my hair is stuck to everything. Where is my resin? Oh boy, head surgery. Yeah. So, anyone who 3D prints knows that sometimes super glue just doesn't, sometimes, a very small proportion of the times, super glue just doesn't work. And I don't know why that is. I'm not sure what causes it. But it's not going to be a problem. We're going to fix it. So, this is clear UV resin. Oh, sorry. Can someone refund Ursient points? With the PNG tuber, unfortunately, those options to change my model don't work. So I get a little bit of clear resin on a toothpick, and I just kind of zhuzh it on there. And unlike super glue, which has a nasty habit um of improperly setting, gosh. I don't know if you could tell at all, but her neck is glowing. That's because of the UV resin. All better. She fixed. It just doesn't want to set today. Yeah. Well, I had to cure it for longer. Okay, okay. It's about a performance bottleneck. It's basically making sure you're getting max performance out of your GPU and CPU. A high-end GPU with a low-end CPU will limit performance of the GPU and vice versa. Yes. Uh, there's a bottleneck calculator. I'll send a link to help you find a good match, okay? Are you trying to gamble in my chat? I don't have that set up, dude. Oh my gosh, it depends on which games you're planning on playing. That was surprisingly quick. Reminds me of the UV stuff they use in the dentist office. Yeah, UV resin. It's toxic. Don't get it on your hands. But once it's cured, it's fine. Oh, and it also glows whenever it's on something. And it kind of looks like cum. Hold on, let me show you guys. Oh, maybe not. You guys, you can't tell. Poopy. Okay. Well, it's all over this paper towel. And it looks like when jizz is under a black light. Unfortunately, the camera exposure is a little too efficient, or not efficient at what's it called? Catching that contrast. Okay. So, this guy wants these models assembled. Good thing I have earbuds on. Why? Because I'm talking about black lights. Mm, I will judge you slightly. Where is my box cutter? Actually, I'm not gonna do this above this because I don't want a bunch of. I don't want a bunch of resin pieces in my paintbrush thing. A nice, pretty little base for a large size creature. Mm. All right. This miniature space goes with this miniature. Yeah, watching you guys argue about computers is going way above my head. Because people like to talk about stuff like this. That's why. S- Look at this boy. Oh Lord, he coming. Yeah. And he has a buddy I'm gonna be cleaning as well. You paint minis. Look at the craftsmanship. Yeah, well, these aren't painted. These are just printed. And I didn't even sculpt them. I wish. I would love to learn how to sculpt. Maybe, maybe when I leave my job, if I have time, I will do streams occasionally about my journey on learning how to use Blender. But Blender is a fucking beast. It's quite the program, especially if you are starting with very little 3D modeling knowledge. Like I don't even have CAD under my belt. Um After stream Discord mod channel exists. Yeah. But how is everyone's what day is today? Tuesday? How's everyone's Tuesday? I not be fucked about my job anymore. Like my day job. I simply do not care. I cannot wait to leave. I got my performance review back today, and for the fourth year in a row, I got a 4.75 out of 5 total, like, ratings, which the expected for your role is a 3. Okay, a 3 is you're performing your duties. A 4 is you do a little bit extra here and there. And a 5 is you go above and beyond in all categories. So for the fourth year in a row, I have gone above and beyond in most categories, getting a 4 in like 2, and I still have yet to get a promotion. Tell me, make it make sense, which is why I'm leaving. Rainy, almost home. Oh, are you traveling right now? My Tuesday is rather boring. It was uneventful, but good. I see. Well, I mean, better than it being like eventful and bad, if we're being honest. Had to do union rep stuff at work. Management isn't thrilled, but they at least understand that what they're having one of our guys do is not part of our is not part of one, our skill set, two, our job. Me on the reg. In my performance review, because I have to do like a self-evaluation before I do anything else, I made sure to tell that like my boss, hey, I do XYZ, which isn't a part of my job description, but is a part of the level that is higher than me, in the hopes that he gets the fucking hint that I'm doing work above my pay grade and that I should be paid as such. We'll see. That's fantastic. In England, getting a good grade, they give you a pay raise. Listen, I get a merit raise, but when the merit raise isn't enough to account for yearly inflation increases, I'm taking a pay cut. I'm gonna be real with you. That's how it is. So there's no getting around it. It just sucks. I'm not being paid what I'm worth. I should be making about 15K more than I am now. Not. Can my mods stop arguing with each other, please? I would appreciate it. Thank you. You can argue in the Discord with each other. But I'm over it being on stream. Thank you. All right. Let's glue this guy down. Just leaving work late, we had a flood warning. Oh no. I didn't want to take the chance with the roads. And I hope everything is okay. I don't know where you live and I'm not going to presume to know, and you don't need to tell me, but with all the floods that are happening across the US right now that are just like killing people, please be safe. All right. How do I think it's Oh, I should have fitted this before I have transitioned to self-deprecating faux argument. Yes. Please don't. Uh Hey, here we go. Here's the second guy. When we heard of the floods in Texas, we thought it was propaganda from the USA for something we just couldn't believe it till we saw. Yeah, so yeah. And some of the videos of like the traffic cams, how quickly it showed up, man. If only the the American Weather Service wasn't dismantled 2 weeks prior. Maybe they would have known to expect a flash flood because of severe rains upstream, but what do I know? I have to work one more day this week before vacation to hang with the boys for a week and play board games. Ooh, what board games are you gonna play? I feel like a few months ago Texas was in a terrible drought. That's how Texas is though. Um, they they go into droughts and the problem, so fun fact about dirt and soil. Um You would think that really dry soil would be thirsty as fuck and it would just absorb water readily. It doesn't. Um, Hydrated soil absorbs water readily. So when you have a severe drought and it dries out the soil, um, it doesn't absorb water when it rains. So it all sits on top of the surface, and that's what causes the severe flooding. Hello, welcome in, Noble Resistance. Welcome to the Forge. I'm not really doing any painting anymore, but we're just yapping while I do some assembly of miniatures. um, so when it rains after a severe drought, none of that water absorbs into the ground, and that's what results in flash flooding. Um, so like when I was deployed, when I was in Kuwait, despite what you think, Kuwait, it's like 2 inches of sand, this really fine, what I would describe as moon dust powder. Um, it lifts really easily and it settles on everything. It gets in your nose, it gets in your eyes, it gets in your ears, it gets everywhere. But it's 2 inches of this powder above rock solid, almost like cement. So when we were deployed and we were told that Kuwait has a rainy season, we were like, what does that mean? The moon dust is the fucking worst. Yeah. So and we were like, what does it mean that, Kuwait has a rainy season? What's going on? They're like, you'll see. And this was the unit that was leaving as we were coming in, so we were replacing them. And they were like, you'll see what we mean. Um, Rainy season came around. Hey, because the dust is always in the air, when it rained mud, which was unique, to say the least. Um, but then because it wasn't actual sand, it was just like dust on top of what's essentially concrete. Um, it flooded. It flash flooded. It was wild. Yeah, it was a scramble too, because a lot of the tents and stuff in Kuwait aren't made or set up with flash flooding in mind. And we certainly didn't set our tents up with flash flooding in mind. We weren't properly warned. It was a hot mess. You had to deal with it while I was in Djibouti. Yeah, I can make a joke. I'm not going to though. Oh my god. Dice Forge, Terraforming Mars, Conspiracy, Giant Card A-hole, Arkham Horror, Wingspan, and I think we're going to have the Slay the Spire board game in another dozen or so. That's a lot. Moon dust, that's interesting. After it floods, does everything turn into soup, or is it still near concrete? It's like 3 or 4, because when it's like, so that 2 inches of powder turns into about 5 or 6 inches of mud above concrete. The water just doesn't absorb into it beyond that. Um, so it floods and washes all your shit away. Finally home, we're not near rivers, but our streets get easily flooded. Since we're at sea level, it's always been an issue. Yeah. I'm happy I live near mountains now. That sounds horrible for boots and vehicles. Yeah. It was horrible for everything. But after it got done raining and the sun came out and everything dried up, the surface of the ground, it was no longer powder. All that mud had dried, but it how do I even describe it? The mud dried, and as it dried, obviously all the moisture was leaving it, so it started to crack and leave these like fissures. But where it cracked, the mud that is normally the powder above the concrete would like curl up. And it was almost like clay autumn leaves on the ground. And it was so fun to walk on. It was one of the most tactile feeling experiences I had while I was over there that I enjoyed. Most of the other tactile experiences you have in Kuwait are not fun experiences to have. But these like clay leaves that showed up on the ground after monsoon season, those were fun. I really enjoyed those a lot, actually. So, hmm. The helicopters look cool through night vision goggles, though, when it kicked up all the dust. I Never had that experience. Um, we were not issued NVGs. We did not need them. I was Signal Corps, so there was no reason for us to have them on deployment. Oh, I need to go. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The clay leaves, they're so cool. I want to step on crunchy snow. It sounds so good. Crunchy snow does sound good. The sound that these clay I'm just gonna keep calling them clay leaves. I don't know what else to call them. That these clay leaves made when you stepped on them. Not only did they feel really cool through your boots, um, but they sounded so nice. Oh, it was like ASMR. I would give anything to have taken a video of that, but I never did. I was dumb. I should have taken a video. Whatever. The dust caught static charge and made it sort of like a halo around the blades. Ooh, that's pretty cool. In the town I used to live in, they've built loads of houses on floodplain, which has caused certain fields around the town to flood as soon as it rains. The problem was when the main water main burst. It was under 15 feet of dirt. That was under another 6 foot of water. The burst main was not fixed for 6 months, and then the backup main burst in -5 C weather. Ooh. Wait, what's booty cheeks? Wait, I've always wanted to look through uh, no, yeah. So pretty much anything you see the military use in Hollywood in movies is not the way the military version is at all. Most of the gear that the military uses is from like the 1980s. um so and do with that knowledge what you will. And any new equipment that the military does have, it went to the lowest bidder. If that also tells you anything. When I went to work with my dad as a kid, the dusty job sites would create them after heavy rainstorms. Oh, okay, yeah. So then you know. They're so nice. So difficult to aim down sights or anything with them. Do you maintain any depth perception? No, you do not maintain good depth perception with MVGs, or at least from what I remember in basic training when we got to use them. Um, they fucking suck for depth. And as far as aiming, we had the EQ 16s, which had lasers for aiming. Army brat here confirmed. Yeah, yeah. Probably the only people who get good gear in the military are the Air Force and any sort of special forces units. Everyone else just kind of gets the leftovers. Okay, stretchy, stretchy. I was a Marine infantry, so I had garbage gear. You know, you're not first Marine that I've talked to recently who was infantry who talked about how garbage all their gear was. Oh man. That was a recent conversation too, like last week. I have a question for you. Did you ever do training at a place called Fort Pickett? Do you know what Fort Pickett is? The infamous Fort Pickett. um, I did in VA, right? Yes, in VA. Yeah, Fort Pickett. That so I as much as I'm like, yes, I'm a veteran, I was deployed, I do have service connected disability and all that stuff. Um, I was only in the reserves. I did 6 years in the reserves. It was what it was, but my unit was stationed at a place called Fort Pickett. Fort Pickett is an old World War II base that hmm, how do I it's an old World War II base that was never maintained. All the buildings there are from World War II era, which means they either has some sort of lead paint or asbestos, or they're falling apart, or they are literally condemned. Um, and there is a video that some Marines posted when they went to training at Fort Pickett. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It snowed like a motherfucker while I was there. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Okay, hold on. Let me go to YouTube. I'm gonna send you a video of what Fort Pickett was like. Fort Pickett. Okay, it has to be. Oh no, did they take it down? Oh yeah. Okay. Here you go, chat. Did they send any of you guys to Kentucky for training? I never went to Kentucky, no. As a US citizen, you have a much easier time being able to buy MVGs. I want to buy a set and I basically can't get anything made in the US, so I have to look elsewhere, which makes night vision goggles about 3 times more expensive. Yeah, that's because civilian companies can make night vision goggles and sell them to public, agnostic of any military operations. Now, if you find military MVGs, just know that some soldier decided they never wanted to return their gear, and instead they sold it to some pawn shop or their friend or their buddy, and that equipment shouldn't be on the market. Just know that. So if you get caught with them, you might get in legal trouble. Same with MREs. Technically, the resale of MREs is also illegal. So we had a bunch of guys at our unit who would take MREs from our drill weekends and our trainings and everything like that and like bring them home to sell to the surplus stores. Technically illegal. Not that they ever cracked down on stuff like that, but for more expensive equipment, they will. Okay, what do I want to do? I'm pretty much done with everything, but I want to keep yapping, everyone. I want to keep yapping. Um, I hold on. I have another miniature I can assemble. Okay. The same grade for me would be like 1900 euro. That vid is wild, isn't it? I'm not even gonna like pretend that Fort Pickett was a good place to be stationed. It wasn't. Hmm. I don't want to do this because if I, not gonna worry about that right now. I'm gonna worry about this. I never went to Kentucky for training. Most of my stuff stayed local to North Carolina or California, unless I was deployed. Where did you get deployed to? I know some people who went on deployments to Germany and South Korea. um, but have a look at Nocturne Industries. Oh, Thars. Okay, that's not me. My first time was to the 24th MEU, and the second was Okinawa. What's the what's the 24th MEU? The military exclusion zone in Korea? I have that correct? I don't really want a set of MVGs. I don't find them that charming to use. I would rather have some infrared goggles. Marine Expeditionary Unit, the 9/11 Force of the World. Oh, I see. I've learned a new acronym tonight. I've learned a new acronym today, and I'll probably promptly forget it. How was Okinawa, though? Did you enjoy your time there? So if something pops off, they're the first people in usually. I see. So when I was deployed in Kuwait, we were about 10 miles away from the Iraq border. Where's Mosul? Hold on. Let's see. Mosul. Iraq, yes. Iraq. So we were about 10 miles away from the Iraq border when the assault on Mosul happened. And um because it's a desert and it's kind of like looking across the ocean, um you can see pretty far. And we couldn't see Mosul, but we sure as shit could see the light coming from the assault on Mosul. So we could also hear the sounds traveling across the sand. When the assault on Mosul happened, we were very concerned that there would be refugees fleeing to the fob that we were on. It was honestly kind of scary. I didn't appreciate it at all because I am not a combat unit. I was never in a combat unit. I was in an expeditionary signal battalion. We were not radio people. We were satellite people. And we did not have the gear to deal with stuff like that. Like, we had weapons, but like we deployed with weapons, but when we got to our forward operating base, they took them and locked them up. So we didn't have them. How much fucking sense does that make? It anyway, it was a scary time. Okinawa was a blast, and we went to South Korea while they were there also. I do know a bunch of people who like to do night hikes with MVGs, as it looks very pretty looking at the stars. They do have them for airsoft, though. I see. That's wild as fuck. Yes, it was. Look at this guy. Isn't he cool? Did you say they took your weapons and locked them up? Yes. Stand stop a lizard. Oh, yeah. Um, I don't like how opaque this looks, and I'm gonna do something that's probably a little unhinged to some people. This is nail polish. Um, I don't know if this is actually gonna work, but we're gonna try it because I want to continue to yap. I'm enjoying it. US military with no weapons, that makes perfect sense. Well, so again, us to put it into perspective, we were not on a fob that was meant to see any sort of combat. All of the operations that we were supporting were in places like Afghanistan, Jordan, Qatar, uh, places like that. So we were supporting people who were in combat zones. Um, But we ourselves, when we got deployed, we're not supposed to have been in a combat zone. The offense on Mosul, no one knew was going to happen. So when we got to our fob, instead of having us carry around our weapons where they would be in contact with dust all the time, people would have to worry about clearing their weapons to go in and out of the DFAC. People would have to worry about clearing their weapons for town hall and everything like that. People would have to count ammo all the time. They were like, hey, let's just put these in the armory and not have to worry about them. But which completely makes sense in my opinion, because the last thing you want is your weapons to be all gunked up because you know soldiers aren't going to take care of their shit. They're lazy. Mini soldiers are lazy. How do I know? Because I was in a unit filled with lazy soldiers. Not all soldiers are lazy, but a lot are. They're not going to clean their weapons. So, if the time should have arisen that they were needed, having a gunked up weapon is just as useless as having a weapon that's locked away. What I don't understand is why they didn't issue us our weapons when they figured out that the assault on Mosul was happening. That, to me, made no sense. The initial decision to lock them up made sense to me. Okay. Yeah, so that's a lot more clear than it was before. Mm-mm. What are the main minis you paint? Well, so this is the first time that I'm doing a mini painting stream since 2023. Most of the minis I paint are gonna be D&D minis, like this one. I finished this one up earlier. And I do a lot of these for people who commission me. This dragon is not a commission piece. It's just one that I've had sitting around for a year that I've never assembled or had time to paint. But now that I have a camera and an urge to do mini painting streams, I might paint it. I feel you overestimate how much trust the military puts in its members. That too. You also have bored soldiers. You also, like, no one really talks about it, but being on a deployment does take a toll on your mental health, even if you don't see combat. Um, it's essentially like you're existing, but life keeps moving on without you. So every time you call home, people tell you about all the stuff that's changing and everything like that. Me coming home, it was wild. It was like life kept moving, and I was in the same spot that I was a year prior when I came back. So that's hard. They don't talk about how hard being on deployment is hardly ever because there's a lot of stigma around mental health in the military, especially with male members. But that's another reason why. If you have a lot of soldiers who are sitting around and they're bored and their mental health isn't the best, like you don't want them walking around with ammo or weapons. And even if they're walking around with weapons, chances are they don't have any rounds anywhere near them. They have to go to the armory to go get rounds for range day, so to speak. I'm getting a very good education. I'm extremely ignorant when it comes to the military, and that's fine. They don't really. The US really likes to glorify its military. Seems a bit counterproductive should your fob unexpectedly come under attack. Yeah, but also, like, the military does have pretty good surveillance. They do generally know if they're going to expect something. Plus, to give you an idea of what a fob looks like, take this square, for instance. Everything we were doing was in the middle of this fob, and around the outside you did have walls, you did have armed security, like you had infantry guys and EOD guys or bomb squad guys at the perimeter who were armed, who did have rounds and stuff like that. It's just for everyone else who is non-combat operations internal to the fob, the cooks, the signal corps, the uh we had off-site people come and take care of cleaning and stuff like that. But officers, like none of them needed to carry weapons if they weren't in a combat role because of mental health reasons, most likely. Is that an effect of the nail polish filling in the tiny defects in the plastic? Yes. So when you 3D print, it's done layer by layer in actually, I could actually show you guys this. I could show you the slicing software that I use. Um, Give me a moment. Sorry. All right, let me close my wet palette since I'm not using it anymore. Okay. Hello? The 2 bucks? Thank you. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, will it not let me capture chip 2 bucks? Okay, let's try this instead. Let me try a screen capture. All right. This. Oh, okay. Never mind. What the fuck? Why is it not letting? Hello? Odd. Very, very odd. Hmm. Well, it won't let me capture chip 2 bucks for some reason. Okay, I guess it's working now. Weird. But I can't see my mouse. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. God. All right, so this is a slicing software that I can't see my mouse on my actual screen on, so now I have to use Streamlabs. Um, Hold on. Let me get it real quick so you guys don't see all my files. You don't need to see my porn. All right. What sort of mini do you guys want to see? I'm just gonna pick one. Let's pick this frog dude. Yeah, did you like that, Tony? But why think the net? Hello, Mythalian. Welcome in. But why think the net was born, Maeve? Yeah, well, we all know I have porn on my computer, but you guys don't need to see what kind of porn. I'm actually kidding, but I do have my name and stuff, and the names of clients and things, and I don't want you to see that. Um, okay. What is a really cool mini that I can show you guys? Um, Maybe Melamora. Hold on. Where is she? Where is this lovely lady? Hmm. Okay. Base Melamora full. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here is a mini. Oh my god. Streamlabs. I fucking believe in you. It's all monster fucking porn. Sounds like something someone with tons of porn would say. It sounds like you're speaking from experience. So this is what a model looks like in slicing software. Um, it looks upright, but if you want to think about it this way, um, oh gosh, this is how it prints. It prints upside down. The part that she's quote unquote standing on is the build plate that lowers into the resin vat before it lifts back up, and prints it layer by layer. For context, as it prints layer by layer, um, you'll see she slowly starts shrinking. Maybe? Oh god, wait, hold on. You can't see anything! Come on, Streamlabs, capture Chitu Box, please. There we go. Fucking crazy. So, I'm gonna fucking yeet this computer, I swear. Hello? Never mind, I'm not gonna show you what I was gonna show you. Yes. Um, anyway, so miniatures print layer by layer, and this layer, even though it's only 0.03 micrometers thick, it's enough that for stuff like this, clear resins, those layers refract light. And that's what we're seeing and why it's cloudy, even though it's clear resin. Filling it with nail polish helps fill those cracks so it refracts less of the light, making it appear not as cloudy. I wanted to show you, but alas, I can't. I'm sorry. You speak to the feet pics guy. I will neither confirm or deny. Didn't you just confirm, though, by dubbing yourself the feet pics guy? Was that a self-report? Asking for a friend. Yeah, we talked about Ozzy Osbourne earlier today. The layers are so tiny compared to a regular 3D printer. When you say a regular 3D printer, do you mean a filament printer? That's all my family has been talking about. Yeah. I have a filament printer. I don't like it. I much prefer resin. They produce higher quality miniatures. But also, even though the resin is toxic, um, I feel like my background in science makes it a lot easier for me to deal with and handle. So I'd much rather have this quality than deal with the growing pains of a fucking filament printer. Filament printers piss me off. You look at them wrong and they're like, oh, I become a spaghetti mess. Lurkies and joke. Why was the T sad after their defeat? Because they tried their best to win. Thank you so much for that pun, kawaii cuties. How are you today? Don't worry, it only causes cancer in California. Alright, let's see. This isn't completely dry yet, but I want to paint the bottom. I feel like I need to do stuff with my hands. go. It is a little more clear than it was before. Um, Unfortunately, though, for me, this stand and this dragon, or I guess wyvern, this wyvern were sitting next to a window. Something you should be aware about if you ever decide to buy a resin miniature, don't leave it next to a window. It continues to cure. They're UV photoreactive. If they continue to cure, they will get brittle, or in this case, in the case of clear resin, they will turn this yellowish color and stop being as clear. So, you know, word to the wise. I want to get a printer. Warhammer models are so damn expensive. They are. Another reason why I never got into Warhammer. But again, if you're gonna get a resin printer, be responsible. Do your research on how resin works and how to keep yourself as well as the environment safe, because it is toxic. Don't be an asshole that dumps it down the drain. Um, if you want tips and tricks, ask me. I know how to handle it. Um, Even water washable resin, don't dump that shit down the drain either. Don't do it. Mia's doing homework. How's you? I'm doing good. Just yapping, really. Having a good time with chat. What a coincidence. Specifically, a desktop homework folder. Oh. Hydrate, I will. Hello, Cracked Mask. Welcome in. How are you? I'm watering. And do you guys want to see other minis that I've painted? I have a couple that haven't. Actually, I think I only have one. Yeah, I only have one that hasn't sold yet. Ugh, but she's a sexy pinup turtle. This is her. Her name is Yodel. I really like the base. I think it's really cute. Oh, you like my neoprene like mat? I'm good. How is you? I'm good. Frick yeah, I do. Frick wait, hold on, what? Huh? What are we frick-eyeing? It's really cute. Thank you. A friend got it for me for my birthday a couple years ago. I really like mushrooms, so he got me this cute little mushroom thing. Dang, that looks good. Thank you. You have a lot of talent. Oh, thanks. You asked if we wanted to see the models. Yes, yes. Okay, I understand now. Yeah. So this is the only other one I have painted right now. I painted this one for fun. Um, let's see. What other models do I have around? I do have some models like ready to go that I haven't painted yet. I have a dwarf. This is Freya. She's in a bodysuit and she has really nice butt. um, really like her. She's one of my most popular models that I sell. Also, what the heck is that on my screen? What is that? Why you do what you do, though? Okay, there we go. It's fixed now. A dice roll! Oh, you guys can actually see the dice roll now. Hold on. You also get to see my dice! My dice bag. Behold, my stuff. Okay. What type of dice do you want me to roll? I have them all separated by type. Do you want D20s? Do you want D6s? What you want? What type of spell do you want to cast, and how much damage dice does it have? Let me know. My most recent mini was Adrax Agatone from the Salamanders. I'm quite proud of it. Is that a Warhammer thing? I know very little about Warhammer. I'm a big D&D person. Look at that twerk emote. Thank you for using that one, Tonai. Clicky clack math rocks. She has nice assets. Yeah, she does. A chonky dice bag. This is Laura's dice bag of holding from Critical Role. 7 D20s. Okay. It's a genuine bag of holding. Yeah. All right. 7 D20s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that is not a D20. That's a D12. Why are you in there? Get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh no, it doesn't say that it's picking it up. Hold on, let me turn on the gain a little. No. Hmm. Give me a moment. Let me turn off some filters real quick. What the heck? Oh my goodness. I don't know why my mic isn't picking up the dice, guys. I'm sorry. Those dice look tasty. Yeah, I'm about to turn the gain all the way up. All the way. Oh my goodness. Turning it up didn't work. Guys, this is the first time in for like ever that it hasn't captured the dice. No, they're not 3D printed. They're uh dispel dice. This one's from You Are Wizards. It's dichromic dice. And I think the D20 or the D1 part says fuck on it. And the D20 says eat. There's another one. Gain, yes. Uh, so I've not changed any of my mic settings since the last time I did Dice ASMR, and the last time it captured it. So I don't know why it's not capturing it now. I turned my gain all the way up, and it still didn't capture the dice. And I turned off my filters, and my mic still didn't capture the dice. So I don't know why it's not doing the dice sounds. But you can one of my mods, would you kindly refund the points for the dice ASMR since we can't hear it? And then I will roll. I can't get it to pick up. I'm so sorry. All right. We got a 20. I don't even know if you could see it on this one. Here we go. 20. 15. This is a 7. I know it looks like a 1, but the 1 is right there. Oh, I think that was an 18. I didn't look when I picked it up. Oops, my bad. Then we got another 15, a 17, and a 12. Use a box or a cup. Um, then I worry that it's just gonna catch the sound of the box. Hmm. I just don't know what to do. Hold on. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. It has to be some setting somewhere. Anyway, anyone else want some more dice rolls while I have my dice bag out? Oh no. I'm sorry, my friend. Hold on. Somewhere in here is dice that I got to name. Here, I won this. I won this dice because on Reddit someone posted this set and they were like, I'm struggling to figure out what I should name it. And I thought this dice looked like Orion's Nebula. So I said Orion's Kiss. And they loved the name so much that they're like, I want to send you a set of this dice. So they did. It's one of my favorites. It's also one of the biggest dice that I have. It's chonky. 10d6? Okay. I'm gonna keep trying to get these dice ASMRs. Okay. That is a really pretty set. Yeah. I know this is off topic, but is there a place in the Discord to share my minis? Yes, there is the TTRPG table. You can share your minis there. And it's not off topic. You're fine. Okay. This dice shouldn't have landed like that. All right, so we have 6555, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. So that's a pretty average roll. You can hear them when I talk? Okay. Hello. La 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 la. There we go. Fucking dice gremlin noises. All right. Hydrate, I will. Almost at average, yeah. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about averages, right? They're average. All right. The dice have gone away. ASMR, you're failing your saving throw while the barbarian is making bonking sounds in the distance. All right. Hydrating now. I'm almost out of water, though. All right. Mhm. All right. And with that, I mean, I think it's safe to end it here, I think. Do we want to raid out to someone? I'm gonna raid out to someone. Who should I raid out to? I might try to find someone in the minis and models. Oh, I didn't show you these. Okay. Hold on. What? This is Token, the traveling merchant. He has a lot of really cool stuff on his back. I love this mini. It's great. And then this is a mini I printed for someone, but they decided they want to redesign her. I might have actually posted a picture of the redesign finished product in the Discord, maybe. If I haven't, I could post it after stream is over. But I may repaint this one at some point. I may do like a thing where chat gets to pick different paint colors for this one. A turtle made it into the water. You mean this? Tell him I love him. He's cute. Who? Token? Here, hold on. Let me... There, a little less glaringly bright. Such a great mini. All right. Who we raiding out to? Who? Oh, I forgot back on for you guys. Oops. All right. Oh, there's a potato doing model building. Looks like a lot of people painting Warhammer. Let's raid the potato. All right. I don't see that they have a subscriber requirement for their chat, so let's raid out to them. All right, remember, as we prepare to raid out, you're welcome for stream. Thank you for thanking me. Thank you guys also for like coming out to support the first miniature painting stream, even though half of it was me yapping. I will have another miniature to paint on Thursday. It's Falco for Star Fox, so that's gonna be fun. And yeah, we'll go from there. I am streaming tomorrow. I'm streaming Grounded with Artie. Thursday is gonna be a miniature painting stream, and Friday possibly a miniature painting stream, continuing the same model, and we'll go from there. You like the stream? Thank you so much. As we prepare to raid out, remember, be kind, be loving, be generous. Show lots of support to the person we're raiding out to. Show them what a lovely community you are. And I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.